Picture the dynamic. An argument escalates, and one person demands an immediate explanation. In response, the other completely shuts down, offering nothing but silence. From the outside, that silence rarely gets a sympathetic read. Society tends to label the quiet person as cold, distant, or lacking emotional maturity. We assume they have weighed their options and made a stubborn, calculated decision to lock the other person out to win the standoff. Beneath that stillness, the nervous system is executing an involuntary, highly complex physiological response. Research by Dr. Peter Levine suggests that the freeze response is a hardwired survival mechanism. It is every bit as instinctual as the urge to fight or flee. When emotional pain feels too intense to process in real time, the nervous system experiences flooding. To protect you from a system overload, your brain pulls the emergency brake and drastically slows your physical body down. This diagram shows the specificity of that biological shutdown. During emotional flooding, the brain region responsible for producing language dims completely, even as the rest of the neural pathways keep firing. When the environment demands immediate verbal expression, forming words can become physically impossible. This biological state of confinement keeps the internal system stable, preventing a total collapse when the sensory input becomes overwhelming. We aren't born doing this. Toddlers express their pain loudly and instantly. Going quiet is a learned adaptation. Psychologist John Bowlby's research demonstrated that our earliest close relationships teach us how to handle emotional pain. If expressing hurt out loud historically led to being ignored or lectured, the brain learns that silence is the safer path. The nervous system archives those lessons. Decades later, even in a safe relationship, the hint of a conflict triggers that same protective freeze response. However, the mind is far from empty. Brain scans show that during these quiet periods, regions tied to memory, self-reflection, and future mapping light up brightly. This is hyper-analysis. The brain rapidly stress tests thoughts against past experiences, predicting how a sentence might land. This neurological overdrive makes the frozen state one of the most intellectually busy emotional conditions a human can experience. In psychology, the window of tolerance represents the narrow emotional zone where productive communication is possible. High stress pushes the indicator line into this red, hyper-aroused zone. Many people intuitively recognize that speaking while flooded risks permanent damage to the relationship. They hold their tongue because they value the connection enough to wait for a moment of clarity. When a partner demands immediate answers, that pressure reinforces the individual's deepest fear, that their internal process is a problem to be solved rather than a boundary to be respected. If given patience without pressure, the physical spike naturally de-escalates, bringing the individual back into the highlighted zone where words can form again. Because the brain has spent this time filtering for accuracy and fairness, the words that finally surface are rarely impulsive. They represent a vetted conclusion. This contrasts with the modern tendency to react instantly, throwing out unvetted prots in the heat of a moment. Processing pain with this level of thoroughness ensures that when the silence finally breaks, the words are meant and the truth is precise. This alignment between deep internal reflection and outward speech is the definition of emotional integrity.